Welcome back, guys. So since the last episode you would have seen that the car wasn't running 100%. I believe I got a boost leak that I need to address. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create like a homemade boost leak detection kit, which essentially is like a rubber boot that goes over the inlet, and I pressurize it with air and just check for any leaks. But I've also ordered some parts to basically redo the boost piping and a new intake. So rather than the boost pipe coming out of the turbo going straight down past the down the manifold and around that way, we're going to run it the opposite way around. So not sure when I'm going to do that though. So I've ordered the parts. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and fix the leak and just drive the car for a little bit, and then when I plan to do that, I'll have to obviously take the front bumper and the front end apart. So that's on the works. I'm also pretty much set on doing some clutch packs and crank on this, so watch out for that as well. So we're gonna get a forged crank from a Touareg or a Mark IV Golf, or one of the engines that has the forged crank, and then do the clutch packs at the same time. So essentially rip the front end off, pull the motor, and then do the gearbox and the crank at the same time. So there's lots coming for this build. It's not over yet. The series essentially is over. We've turboed it. It was successful, but we've still got a lot more to do. We've got a lot more power to try and hunt down. So I've got my little homemade tester here. I've just started making it. So this is actually a 4-inch pipe for a pond. So this is to cap the 4-inch pipe work off a pond. I have pond, I have koi, so I had this kicking around, and I've just bought some of these tire valves, or Schrader valves, however you want to call them. It was like £4 for like 10 from Amazon. So I just drilled a hole there, and I'm just going to put in the valve on the opposite side, and then basically put this over the 4-inch intake, and then I'll be able to apply pressure with a bike pump or any form of compressor that has the fitting for that. Apply some pressure and see where the air is coming out of. Yeah, that's the plan, guys. So let me just build that up now, and I won't be testing it tonight because it's dark, as you can see, but I will get into it probably tomorrow and see how it goes. So apparently my phone didn't want to record me actually fitting this, but essentially what I did was I got the valve and I pulled it, and I put some silicone around the lip, and then I pulled it through the hole and then put some silicone either side. So let that dry overnight, and then that should seal up fine. So this here is actually for a PVC 4-inch pipe, which actually means that the diameter between here is 116 millimeters. So what I'm going to need to do is I've got an off-cut silicone pipe here, and that actually fits in there lovely and takes the space up. So that's what I'm going to do that tomorrow, and fix any leaks that we might have, and then hopefully get back to enjoying the car. Right then, guys, so I've taken the MAF airflow sensor out, and I've replaced it with this tube that's got the block off pipe here. So that should test the intake pipe and then all the boost piping as well. And my daughter's here to help me, aren't you, Freya?
Yeah. Hello.
So let's get this done and see if we've got any boost leaks. So the tester seems to be working well. I found one little leak that's in the welding, but I mean it's not even a pinhole, so that's definitely not going to be causing my issue, but we will address when we resort the boost piping out. So I'm going to let it fill up with air again, and It's obviously got to be a bigger issue because it's not even reaching pressure, so it's got to be a big leak somewhere. I can't hear it, so I'm just gonna have to persevere with the soapy water and see how you get on. So guys, excuse the noise. Just try and get a light in there for you. I wonder if you guys can tell where my boost leak is. That's a very serious boost leak. Now I've got a weld there, so I don't know whether it's coming from the weld or from the pipe, so I'm about to investigate, but as you guys can see, that's quite a serious boost leak. So let's investigate. So it looks like it's coming from the weld just there. So this was obviously a bit of a porosity and that little hole that you can see marked by the yellow. So I'm just going to re-weld it, and hopefully that'll fix my issue. So as you can see, I've sealed up all the areas of porosity. There's a couple here as well that I've sealed up. That looks fully sealed now, so I'll fit it on there and give it a test. It's Christmas every day. And we have a Ram air filter. So I went with this one because it's a lot smaller than the forged one, and I'm going to be rerouting my boost pipe, so I need the extra clearance. So this is a hell of a lot smaller than the forged one, which will give me extra clearance to run the boost pipes past the intake. Some poly ARB bushes for the front. So I've got an issue at the moment with my front ARB where it's clonking because one of the bolts is cross-threaded. So I've got some new bolts and some new nuts. And while I'm now, I thought I might as well change the anti-roll bar bushes to some poly ones. So these are, you know, track ones. They're pretty much no give in them at all. So we'll see how those go. Got a bit of grease in there as well. Got them from Godflex. They do them in different colours as well, which is pretty neat. I actually don't know what's in this one. Yeah, I do. Brake pads. So these are just some cheapy Mintex pads. So I just bought some cheapy Mintex pads because they're squeaking at the moment and I need to get, you know, through the winter. So I am going to be doing some track days next year with some friends. So I would look to upgrade the brakes then, but I didn't want to plough, you know, £500 of brakes that, you know, I'm probably not going to use over the winter. So I just bought some cheapy ones. These are like £25. So I'm going to put them on until, you know, spring next year, where I'll either think about, you know, some rotors and some pads, track orientated ones, or whether I'll go, you know, 6-part big brake kit or not. So guys, I've got the new air filter on there, the Ram air filter. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, but with it raised up a little bit, it should give me the room I need to run the boost pipes along here. Because the boost pipe is going to come out of the turbo, run down here, and then through that hole down there, under the headlight, and then into the intercooler. So with the smaller pipe, it should give me enough room to do that. Fingers crossed anyway. Not sure when I'm going to do it. I might do it in this episode, I might do it in the next. I've just been out in the car. After fixing those boost leaks, there was 2 major ones in the welds. After fixing those, car drives better, it holds boost now. So it's holding about 0.8 of a bar boost. So we'll seems to be driving better now. So I'm going to keep driving for now, but it's so quiet. If you're planning on a turbo in your car, guys, and you've got a Miltech, a non-res Miltech, it's just going to sound so quiet. You can hear the turbo spool and whine, and you know, the recirculating valve go off rather than any exhaust note. So I need to get that changed. I need to get a 3-inch all the way through and no boxes, and hopefully that'll fix the noise issue. I like a noise, I like bangs, I like pops, you know, I like all the ASBO stuff. So that'll be next on the list to do. I took the car out for a spin last night and I had VCDS hooked up back on to check for temperatures and oil temperatures. It was also logging misfires, so when it was being mapped, they noticed some misfires as well, so they changed coil 3. So it's a brand new coil pack in there. So when I first got the car, I've always had like a little tiny bit of a lumpy idle. So I checked for misfires multiple times, and we never had any until I changed those spark plugs. So I noticed that I was getting misfires after those spark plugs, so maybe they're not gapped properly, but I'm going to put the old spark plugs back in. I don't think I'm making anywhere near enough power to cause issues with the older spark plugs, just to see whether it is the spark plugs causing the misfire. They're in random numbers, so I looked and it would be like you know, cylinder 2 and 3, then it'd be like cylinder 2 and 5, and then, you know, then it'd be like 3 and 4. So it'd be random cylinders. So I don't think it's a coil pack issue. And the only thing I think of that would affect random cylinders or at random times, maybe the spark plug. So if you guys got any suggestions what that might be, or seen it on your own car, then drop me a comment below. That might really help investigate this. But I'm going to change the spark plugs now. It's an easy thing to do, and check to see whether it's the spark plugs at fault. So there's the plug. Doesn't look in, you know, any bad condition or anything. This from cylinder 6. Alright guys, so this is VCDS. What it's showing me at the moment is that cylinder 3 has a misfire, or has detected a misfire. So yesterday there was 2 misfires total, which is the value up here, and then it was kind of changing between sort of 2 and 3, and, you know, sort of 5 and 2. So I've got the old spark plugs in there now, and this is just be 1 misfire. But I don't know if you guys can hear this, but when I'm sort of revving, you can hear it's like a splutter. Hear that? I'm not sure whether that's like an air leak or, you know, vacuum leak or something, but it just doesn't sound right. The mass airflow. It's come up at 2.5 grams a second. Give it a rev. I don't know whether that's good or not. I haven't got a clue. I'm gonna let the car warm up, and I'm going to check the misfires after that. Like, as you can see, it's gone back down to nothing, so I'm going to log the misfires and see what happens. So guys, I'm just going to take it out for a spin and see whether it comes on. I'm logging it via VCDS, so let's see what happens. If you guys know of any good things to log with VCDS, let me know, and I'll do a video on that, or you know, even help my situation. If you guys got any hints and tips and stuff, then drop them down below, and that'll help me out massively. Just about to take it out for a spin, and I was clearing the codes, and in the car cut off. I've just started to back up, and as you see there, it was running pretty rough, and I felt it. I don't know if you guys just heard the revs drop there. I'm just not sure what I should be logging here. You know, is this rich or is that, you know, lean? I don't know. If you guys know how to log using VCDS for airflow and, you know, anything that makes the engine run nice, drop a comment down below. I'd be really interested to see whether I'm running okay or not. I want to avoid having to put a wideband in if I can, but if I need to put a wideband in, I will. Quite literally just drive around the corner into the petrol station. That's logged 7 misfires. So we'll keep driving, we'll keep logging it and see what it's like. guys, I'm back now. I've taken the car for a very spirited drive and I've let it idle for a bit. I've been playing around with VCDS while it's been idling and I've had no misfires. So in between the time that I had misfires and now, I filled up with fuel. So I know I get a fuel issue or like starvation issue, sort of below half a tank. So I think that's something to do with the whole return, the saddle tank radium valve that I've got. Maybe that's not sucking in from the other side of the tank, but I filled up with fuel and now I've got no misfires. So it could have been the spark plugs or it could have been the fuel. So I'm going to leave these spark plugs in there for now and see how I go as I go down the tank. I think I felt the clutches slip for the first time. It was a bit of a weird sensation, so the new clutch packs are definitely on the list. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to do Mark 7R golf clutch packs, or there's a guy on Facebook that sort of sells race clutches, which is basically like an extra 2 clutches per pack, and whether I just use those discs and friction discs in my clutch pack as it is, or just do the Mark 7 Golf R clutch packs. I don't know. But I definitely need a new flywheel, I think. I think that's half the problem I'm getting with the bit of jerkiness as I'm pulling off, is the worn clutch packs, and the flywheel probably is on his way out. Vince did recommend that I did change that, so that's always going to be in this episode, guys. I'm going to upload episodes and a bit more frequently as I'm doing stuff to the car, rather than sort of waiting, you know, a long time and having loads of content in one go. So I'll start uploading frequently. And if you guys haven't seen the new project we got on the go, the Mini Cooper S supercharged track car, lots of content coming up on that very soon, so go ahead and watch that video and tag along with the build of that. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay notified when I drop some videos. Alright, cheers guys, peace out.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay